December 6, 1969. A drag strip 50 miles outside San Francisco. 300,000 people showed up to see the Rolling Stones play for free. 4 months earlier, Woodstock had defined a generation. Tonight was supposed to be Woodstock West. It wasn't. By sunrise, 4 people were dead. One of them was Meredith Hunter, 18 years old, stabbed to death right in front of the stage while the band played on. The cameras caught everything. Woodstock happened in August 1969 on Max Yasgur's farm in upstate New York. 400,000 people gathered for 3 days of music. It rained, they ran out of food, but somehow it worked. Jimi Hendrix closed with the Star-Spangled Banner. For about 5 minutes, the whole peace and love thing felt real. The Stones weren't there. They were touring, charging high ticket prices. Journalists hammered them for it. Fans were pissed. Jagger felt the heat. So, they decided to end the tour with a free show. Their own Woodstock, San Francisco, Woodstock West. They wanted Golden Gate Park. Perfect spot, right in the heart of San Francisco's counterculture scene. But the park was hosting a football game that day, and there were no permits. Plan B was Sears Point Raceway, but the owner wanted too much money, and there were legal problems with the film rights. That plan died. December 4th. The concert is in 2 days, still no venue. Dick Carter owned Altamont Speedway, a rundown drag strip in the middle of nowhere 50 miles east of Oakland. He offered it. The organizers had no choice. They had 48 hours to build a concert for what they thought would be 50,000 people. They built a stage 3 feet high. It had been designed for the top of a hill at Sears Point. At Altamont, it sat at the bottom of a bowl, and all day the crowd pressed down on it. They put up a rope barrier, and it lasted about 10 minutes. 300,000 people, 100 porta potties, no food, no water, almost no medical help. Security. The Grateful Dead recommended the Hells Angels. The band had used them before at free shows, and there had been no problems. The Stones liked it. That summer, the Stones had worked with a group calling themselves Hells Angels at Hyde Park in London. Those men seemed harmless, leather jackets and beer, mostly letting the police handle everything. The Oakland Hells Angels were not the British Hells Angels. They were young, rough, and violent. The deal was $500 worth of beer to keep people off the stage and to protect the generators. Sam Cutler, tour manager for the Stones, told them straight up, "We do not give a fuck. Just keep these people away." They took him seriously. December 6th. By afternoon, 300,000 people were crammed into a space built for maybe 30,000. Hells Angels rode their bikes right up to the stage and parked them there. Anyone who got too close was shoved. Touch a bike and you got beaten. Pool cues everywhere. Santana opened and the set started calm. But Grace Slick of Jefferson Airplane said later the vibes were wrong from the start. She expected Woodstock. This was not Woodstock. Jefferson Airplane played next. A fight broke out near the stage. Marty Balin, the lead singer, jumped down to break it up. A Hells Angel knocked him cold. Balin woke up and started complaining. An angel hit him again. Paul Kantner grabbed the microphone and told everyone the Hells Angels just smashed Marty Balin in the face and knocked him out. Chip Monk, the stage manager, took a pool cue to the face and lost most of his teeth. All day, the Angels beat people, randomly and brutally. Pool cues fists, boots. The crowd was too packed to escape. Bad LSD was going around. Red Mountain wine had been spiked with acid. People were freaking out with nowhere to go. Jerry Garcia watched it happen. He told the band that the show was like a runaway train and that they needed to get the fuck out before it hit them. The Grateful Dead were supposed to play after Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. They did not play. They boarded their helicopter and left. It was dark by the time the Stones went on. Jagger had been punched in the face earlier when he showed up. He knew it was tense. The show had to go on. They opened with Jumpin' Jack Flash, then Carol. The third song was Sympathy for the Devil. Everything erupted. Fights broke out right in front of the stage. The band stopped. Jagger tried to calm everyone down. He called out to the crowd, asking people, brothers, and sisters to just cool out. Keith Richards pointed at the Angels and warned that either those cats cool it or they would not play. It calmed down enough for the band to play a slow blues to cool things off and then return to the set. They played Love in Vain, followed by Under My Thumb. Meredith Hunter was 18 from Berkeley. He came with his girlfriend Patty Bredehoft, who was 17 and white. They had been dating a few weeks. Hunter was black. His sister Dixie warned him about going to a concert in rural California because of racism. He brought a .22 caliber gun for protection. He had watched the Hells Angels beating people all day and saw them target black fans. He got shoved around himself. By the time the Stones played, he had taken methamphetamine, he was agitated, and he wanted to get closer. During the Stones song Under My Thumb, he climbed on a speaker by the stage. Hells Angel Alan Pissarro grabbed him, yanked him down, and punched him in the face. Hunter fell into the crowd, and more Angels jumped him. Pool cues and boots were used. He tried to get away, but they kept coming. He pulled his gun. Pissarro lunged, grabbed Hunter's hand, spun him, and stabbed him in the back, again and again. He was stabbed at least 6 times, in the back, the head, and the neck. Hunter went down. Some people tried to carry him to the medical tent, but the Angels blocked them. By the time he got help, he was dying. He was dead before the Stones finished their set. Maysles brothers were filming a documentary about the tour. One camera caught it. You can see Hunter's gun, a dark outline against his girlfriend's vest. See Pissarro move in. See the stabbing, all of it. The Stones kept playing. They did not know someone had just died 20 feet away. Brown Sugar, its first live performance. Satisfaction, Street Fighting Man. They walked off to chaos. Most people did not know what had happened until the next day. Hunter was not the only one. 2 people were killed in a hit-and-run by a campfire. Another drowned in an irrigation canal while on LSD. 4 dead. 4 babies born. Hundreds were injured. January 1970. Pissarro was charged with murder. The trial came down to the Maysles footage. Hunter's gun was visible. Pissarro's lawyers said self-defense. The jury accepted that. He was acquitted. Pissarro died in 1985 with $10,000 in his pockets under suspicious circumstances. He never talked about it publicly. Hunter's family received $10,000 from the Stones a few months later through a lawyer. Dixie Ward called it a very nominal sum. The Stones never contacted the family. They never apologized. They never said Meredith Hunter's name in public. The Maysles brothers released Gimme Shelter in December 1970. It became one of the most important music documentaries ever made. Hunter's name is never said out loud in it. The film focuses on the Stones. Mick Jagger, in the editing room, watched the footage, looking shaken. The story became about what Altamont did to the Rolling Stones, not what it did to Meredith Hunter. Tapes surfaced later of Jagger talking about it. He said he was scared shitless, that either he stopped touring or he did not. Keith Richards wrote in his memoir that Hunter was foaming at the mouth, as nuts as the rest. Nobody else saw Hunter foaming at the mouth. It was another way to shift blame. Scared. The Hells Angels had their version. Sonny Barger, Oakland chapter president, said it was just another Hells Angels event. He blamed the Stones for putting them in that position. The story goes that the Angels later tried to kill Jagger with a boat and explosives. A storm nearly sank them and they gave up. Woodstock was 4 months earlier. Peace, love, music. Young people coming together to build something better. Altamont killed that in one night. Ralph Gleason wrote in the Chronicle that if Woodstock denoted the flowering of youth culture, Altamont meant the end of it. Rolling Stone called it rock and roll's all-time worst day. The counterculture thought they were different, above mainstream violence and racism. Altamont proved otherwise. A young black man brought a gun because he was afraid of racist violence. He was right. When he defended himself, he died in front of 300,000 people while the Stones played. The Grateful Dead wrote New Speedway Boogie about it. One line said, "One way or another, this darkness got to give." The darkness did not give that night. The Stones toured again in 1972. They still played Sympathy for the Devil. They still played Under My Thumb. Altamont became a footnote in their history, something they barely mentioned. For the Hunter family, it was not a footnote. Their son died, and nobody from the music world acknowledged it properly. Woodstock was the dream. Altamont was reality. 55 years later, we are still trying to make sense of it.